Welcome back to Around the Block Volleyball. The NCAA women's season is finally entering conference play, so it's time to get serious. Today we're going to talk about some of the top teams and give one problem that each of them need to address before the national tournament. But first, before we get started, we want to talk about how we're going to address the World Championships for the men's that's going on right now as well. Obviously the women's, we combined it into big episodes, but I think for next week, we're just waiting until it completes, and then we're going to talk about the men's tournament as a whole. So next week we'll have 2 episodes. This week, just 1. And also, we just want to remind you guys that we did just release an interview with the SEC, 2-time SEC Libero of the Year, actually, Maya Sands from Mizzou. So if you guys haven't already, you guys should definitely check that out. It's a super fun interview, and it's pretty good to get to know one of the top liberos in NCAA right now.
Yeah, like and watch that. That's how we know that we should be doing more of these.
But now, let's get right into the one problem for each of the teams. And first team we're going to talk about. Let's talk about Nebraska.
Yeah. So it's always awkward to say stuff like this, being like, oh, this team needs to fix this, because this is like the top team right now in the country.
Yeah.
But hey, even these teams have something that they want to improve on to really, make sure that they're the best team possible, because you're never going to be perfect. For me, I always think that right now it's still this right side connection and getting that consistency, because it's still been lacking, honestly. I think Ali Czech has had her moments. Virginia Adriano has also had her moments, but to put it lightly, I think she's been a little disappointing. I think the expectations were set very high for her, knowing that she came from like the A2 Italian environment where, the level of play is really, really high. You would hope that, there's going to be an adjustment period, but she adjusts well, but it hasn't really been there yet. So still seeing if that's gonna happen. And then to me, I think that really takes this team to the next level.
Yeah, and I think it's got to be coming a little bit more from the setter side a little bit, slightly, just because I think even just the back sets in general so far from Bergen it's been getting better recently, but for the majority of this season, there's also been issues with Andy Jackson's slide, and sometimes even with Rebecca Alex slide, and she's been the slightly more offensive. So yeah, that's where there's a little bit of problems with that right side just in general. Something about the location is not getting the hitters comfortable enough to like really utilize them to their maximum potential, which is a little bit weird because we saw the Bergen and Andy connection just last year.
Yeah.
It was filthy. So
it still is really good, but again, I think, having that distribution across the net, because also, like, Nebraska's been doing this type of system for a while now, where they really only have like 3 hitters available, especially when Bergen's in the front row, right? They don't have another back row hitter to hit like a D ball. So, having those offensive options split, so it does matter with having the slide connecting correctly and the right side, just so the offense is more spread out. Because that's definitely Nebraska's MO. That's how they play. That's how they play ball. That's why they're really good. So if they can fix that up with the setting and then also with the hitter, I would say.
Yeah.
I think
it's both. When it comes to connection, it's got to be both sides where things are getting fixed. Their last couple games, it has looked better. I wouldn't say like maybe even to the same level as last year, but it's better. But I think when the team's running so well already, it's like.
It's a little small thing, I would say.
We're basically just like nitpicking at this point, so not too big of a deal for Nebraska, but it is their way to like really guarantee their number 1 team in the nation status and take it all the way to the national championship.
I guess like the other like small one that people have been talking about is like the libero situation. I don't think that's that big of a problem to me.
Yeah, I feel like they're just
I actually think that Olivia Malk is the way to go. I think her passing has been better. And Choboy's defense is really good, but I think if you give Malk some time, she's only a sophomore, I'm pretty sure, so she's got some more time here. I think if she can really dial it in, keep the passing consistent, and then if her defense comes around, then it's great. I don't know if they're ever going to do like the 2-lib thing. I think that could work, but I don't think that's really a DBK thing. So.
I don't think it's a good way for them either, just because they do DS. So you are getting both of them on the court anyways.
Yeah, we'll see.
You want to keep that.
Yeah, but I think that is just one of the other things that people have been talking about. But for me, I don't know about you, it's not that big of a deal. I think with Malk now, it's been better.
For each game, they're just pretty much picking whoever's the best libero for the game, which most of the time is Olivia Malk, just because service eve.
Yeah, and I think it's been working out.
not a big deal. I mean, they just have 2 good defenders on the team, and they just switch it up when they need to, which is a luxury that Nebraska often has with their stacked rosters.
It helps.
But now let's move on to our second team, where we got Texas.
Texas climbed up a lot here. They're definitely higher than where they were before, so.
We underestimated them, for sure.
Yeah.
We were early on in the season, basically preseason, maybe first week, second week. We were still a little bit iffy on them because we weren't seeing quite the same performances that they are kind of having now, where they are looking absolutely elite.
Yeah, I think it's really risky when you do like the first serve type of thing.
Yeah.
Like they really didn't look that good when they had first serve, but I think you kind of understood that it would take some time for them as a team, and it's kind of happened now. Now they've kind of hit their stride, and the team is looking dangerous. But what about a problem here? For me, I've been saying like the setting consistency, but to me there's also like the serving tougher, but to me maybe the setting consistency right now is a little bit more of a problem. Not that Ellis Window's bad, but I think you can see it. There's times where it's off, and then it's more tips and rolls and jams versus can Torrey Stafford or Kari Spears, can they take a full rip at the ball?
Yeah, I'd say it mostly affects maybe the middles, at least in my opinion, where we're not getting as many middle swings. I mean, obviously they still get their swings in, but it's a little bit more tricky play from them, which totally fine. They're still scoring, so not the biggest deal. One thing that I noticed, I think it mostly comes from when they're played against like an actually really good defensive team, serve-receive team like Stanford, is that, and obviously I haven't played Nebraska yet, but against those 2 types of teams like them, you are going to have some issues when you're serving sometimes. Again, consistency. Sometimes it's a little bit easier. Sometimes it's actually really good. But I think just being able to dial in on the serves, especially when they're playing against like the top competition, I think just looking at that Stanford game that they played,
that was the one that like really made us think about this.
They were getting outserved really bad. I mean, Stanford is probably like the best serving team in the nation. Like,
they're up there.
Well,
they're up there.
Maybe highest errors, but most difficult serves.
They definitely go out there and they're ripping at the ball.
Yeah, let's put it that way. Maybe not like best stats percentage wise.
But they're up there. Yeah, they're definitely really good.
But they have the most difficult serves, and they're giving Texas a lot more trouble than Texas was giving them.
Yeah, you could see like a very easy difference when we were watching the game. We could see that Texas was struggling with serve receive, and then Texas wasn't really putting that much pressure on the service line.
I think it's just making sure that even in these like difficult situations against good passing teams, you kind of lock in, you still keep those tough serves that we do see in some of these other games. We're seeing them get high ace counts even versus some of the other teams that they've been playing.
Yeah.
But just figure out that consistency. But obviously Texas, number 2 in the nation right now, could be number 1 in the nation, fighting with Nebraska for that spot basically. So not too much to really pick at them with either. It's really, really nitpicky.
Yeah, I mean, they have had times where the serving is looking good, the setting is looking good. Shout out to Matt Houlihan when he does like the float serve Jesus. He did that with Ramsey Gary. I thought that was hilarious because she did come in big time for them so far. I think Ramsey Gary has been like a really good addition for them. Like the serving sub and the defense has been really good for them. So that's definitely helped Texas out.
But now let's move on to our number 3 team, or the 3rd team. We got Louisville. So Louisville, they're doing really well this season as well. They're pretty up there.
Pretty surprising too.
Yeah. We thought maybe it'd take them a little bit of time to gel into their system.
Yeah, I mean,
they're there.
They had a lot of people that graduated out.
But for the issue with them, I'd say it's pretty much just the offensive consistency.
I think this was probably one of the easier ones for me to pick out like a problem.
Yeah. I mean, we are seeing them have issues. I mean, in their like most recent game, Kara Cressy was really, really struggling. Even Nayeli Cabello as a whole was struggling to make sure that all of her hitters were getting their proper swings in, I'd say.
Yeah, I think the problem is the identity is to get Kara Cressy like the most amount of balls ever that you'd see.
From a middle,
For a middle. But the problem with that is that you also still have to, that's a lot more volume than she's probably been used to. So there are going to be errors that come with that. And you could see like her trying to figure that out and navigate that is difficult. And then also it comes down to, you're never going to be able to set a middle more than more than like an outside, right? You're always going to have to set your outsides and your right side.
Especially against these tougher teams.
Yeah, I mean, you're just not going to be able to set the middle all the time. It just doesn't work like that. And you can kind of see that where that's when they run into problems. And I really like Chloe Chicoine and Peyton Peterson, but you can kind of see that that's been a problem for them, is getting the consistent production from a left side hitter from an outside here, where it's been difficult, and then Kara Cressy is not able to score you however many points you want her to, you know?
Honestly, I'd say that more surprising to me has been that, like, more often than not, Peyton, like, obviously each player has their own games, but Peyton Peterson has been more of the terminal outside attacker versus Chloe Chicoine, which is kind of what you'd expect coming in. I mean, obviously she has the defense. That's a really big contribution from her, but just from both of your outsides, you kind of really want that offense to be a little more something.
I think it definitely shows a little bit of the dynamic that they had last year, right? Chloe Chicoine being able to play with an Eva Hudson, knowing that she is going to take more swings, she's going to take more of that offensive burden. It's a little bit easier. Now, Chloe Chicoine is still really good, so she can still produce, but you can see, like, when you are trying to aim for this national title for Louisville, like, you do need that offensive production from your outside, from either one of them or both, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get it done with how it has looked so far.
Yeah, I think it's just finding the ability to have, like, real terminal hitters at any given situation in games, which for Louisville, it's like we're there sometimes we're not. But again, we are seeing that positive more times than not. It's just when it's not, it looks bad.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, you can see it's like when the offense is working, this team is looking like they're unmessable. But when they're cold, it looks really bad.
Yeah.
You can definitely see that there's cracks in the armor for Louisville.
So they just got to figure that out, and they'll probably be set to be a pretty strong team.
Yeah, they're still going to be really good.
Yeah.
But that is just like the one thing that you can see.
Next, we're going to move on to Pitt. So another team that dipped in the rankings a little bit, making their way back up.
Yeah.
Looking a little bit better now.
Resurgence now.
Yeah. I think this is the same problem. Our problem for them is pretty much the same thing we've been saying the entire season, because it was their biggest issue, and it's getting better, but still their biggest flaw is that their passing and setting game in conjunction with each other is looking a little bit rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to tell because of how good it was last year with like Emmy Klika and Rachel Fairbanks. Like, those were such pivotal players that now that they're gone, like, it's no detriment to the players that they have now, but that is very difficult, right? When you have two All-American level players and they're gone, like, this makes it a lot more tough on the passing and the setting to make this offense more diverse, right? It does get very one-dimensional a lot of the time, which you can kind of live with because it is Olivia Babcock, but that is where you struggle when you play against good teams.
Yeah, against the top teams, which is pretty much what we're talking about. These issues only really show up for top teams, and Pitt actually did lock in versus Kentucky.
Yeah, so that was a very surprising one.
Yeah, that passing there was actually really, really good, so no, like, we know they are capable of it.
Yeah.
It's just we need to see that happening more often than not.
Yeah.
Because there have been many issues with it.
Yeah, I think if they can do that, then they can go far. They can definitely challenge a lot of these really top tier teams.
Yeah, and I think you mostly see the issues in just how infrequently they're able to utilize their middles.
Which is super important because they have some of the best middles in the country. Like, if they can do it, I think that does make their offense a lot more dangerous and a lot more diverse. Because actually Blair Bayless has really stepped up. She's looked really good now. And she's finally hit her stride, and she's looking really good. But if their passing can get there, then you run the middles too. Olivia Babcock might actually see like a one block situation versus like a double block every single time, and everyone knows where the ball is going to go.
Yeah, or we're just going to get more terminal plays from like Blair Bayless or either one of the middles just to get their own one-on-ones, because maybe they're stacking towards Olivia Babcock.
For sure.
Free it up, give it to these other players who are going to be more terminal if everything can be in system. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing for Pitt. We've seen the flashes, so we know they can do it. It's just consistently getting there. We'll see in the ACC how that's going to work with them.
Yeah, so we can see if they can still do it against the other top ACC teams as well.
But now moving on to the next team, we have Stanford. So Stanford, I think, has been pretty good in general, but they have a very glaring problem, I think, very easy for us to point out again, and that's just the setting connection.
Yeah.
Because they initially started off with Taylor Yu.
Yep.
And she got injured, and then they switched it up. They got Logan Parks in there. They actually started off running that like 5-2 type thing, 6-2 where
Logan Parks like
was
stays in.
Yeah. So they actually started off with that. Then they just switched to running in their normal 5-1.
Yeah.
Now they had to switch from that 5-1 with Taylor Yu. They're switching it to 5-1 with Logan Parks.
Which is a big ask for a freshman.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, and already we think that they switched to that 5-1 initially just because Logan Parks' connection was not too great.
Yeah.
I think we're actually not seeing the year we expected from Elia Rubin just because the connection isn't there to give her like the type of dominant swings all the time.
Yeah, it's not Tammy Minor.
Yeah, they're getting them, but it's not looking as good as we want to see, but they are working on it week by week. I've seen it be a lot better because when they first did it, it's looking rough.
It was looking very rough, but
it was looking.
I think we mentioned this in the beginning of the year too, or the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
We knew that this was a team that it's going to take time for them to really start connecting and then hit their stride. Mm-hmm. And I think that's still yet to be seen.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it's a team that you can really count out. I think a lot of the things are there for them to be a top tier team. I think once that setting connection is there, if it is Logan Parks or Taylor Yu comes back and it starts looking really good again, we'll have to see. But I think if they can do that, they'll definitely be a really tough team. Because Erica Sayer has been a great addition for them.
Yes. Oh my God.
She's been amazing.
So good.
It's making the middles for Stanford look really good right now because Lizzie Andrews is still really solid. And it's making the offense a lot more difficult to handle.
That connection is actually something that like is working fine right now.
Yeah.
I guess it's just connecting with the pins a little bit more.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of funny. It feels like she connects better with Erica Sayer versus Lizzie Andrew. Mm-hmm. Even though Lizzie Andrew was there last year and stuff like that. But I don't know. It is kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, freshman setter coming in. You never know what the connections are going to be like, but they're totally cleaning it up, and they have really good aspects, but we just kind of want to see it cleaned up enough where we're seeing the Elia Rubin, not carry game necessarily, but we want to see her have a couple pop-off games where we're seeing her like swing hard at almost every single ball that she can or that she wants to. But right now, it feels like she's forced to tip, she's forced to roll a little bit more than she probably wants.
Yeah, I think setter connection here is going to be pivotal for Stanford.
Yep. But now let's move on to our next team where we're going to talk about Kentucky. It's a tough one because they are also looking really, really good. Mm-hmm. Although they did just get beaten down by Pitt. So
yeah, that was not pretty.
Yeah.
Not pretty for Kentucky. I actually thought Kentucky was going to win that game.
Yeah. Before the game for sure. Yeah. I think if there was like betting odds, the odds were for Kentucky.
Yeah. But I would say so.
Yeah. Now we're looking at Kentucky. We're seeing some of their flaws. I'd say maybe one of the bigger ones would be kind of just like their blocking and then how that maybe affects their defense.
Yeah, at least to me, the blocking was like, for that game in particular against Pitt, that one was the one where it made me think, oh, like this is a real problem. Mm-hmm. Like it kind of looked like they didn't really know what the game plan was on like what we're blocking here against Pitt, when I feel like you should know what the game plan is against Pitt.
Yeah, if you can't slow down Olivia Babcock when Pitt is a very Olivia Babcock heavy team.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean to like stop her. Mm-hmm. It's slowing her down.
Yeah,
which is very realistic, especially for a team of
other
Kentucky's
teams have
caliber.
done it this year.
Yeah,
so we know they can. We know it's possible.
And Kentucky is a really good team. They have the things to do it. It's just I don't know what was happening with like the blocking game plan or whatever. It did not look great. I think that was something that I'd definitely look at. I guess like another one to me would be like figuring out the setter and the right side stuff. Mm-hmm. I think Cassie O'Brien has been really good. I think she's been like super good. Like that's a huge positive, like kind of a surprise.
They went to Ava Sarafa for a while in the middle there.
Like Cassie O'Brien kind of got hurt in the I don't know which game it was. It wasn't the Pitt one, but like you kind of saw that with Ava Sarafa. You know, how does that work? And then the right side too. I think the right side has been something that you wouldn't think you'd have to worry about that much because you have Brooklyn DeLay and Eva Hudson, but it is still important. Like we've seen it for other teams. That is important to have a good right side. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Jordan Daly has looked good in moments. So it's just figuring out that other connection for setters and then also the right side. I think that can really help Kentucky.
And just to wrap it up with the blocking, I think it's just specifically against Olivia Babcock or maybe other right side heavy teams. Maybe part of that reason is we need to see a little bit more out of those outsides that you mentioned in terms of putting up the block. I mean, obviously they're heavily strained being the focal points of the offense, and that's very, very important. But when you're up against another top tier player, you still want to put up the good blocks.
Yeah.
You still want to make sure your blocks are steady. You're the one who has to set them, or set the block.
Yeah.
For your middles. So, yeah.
I mean, Brooklyn DeLay is super physical. Like, she's really tall, and I'm sure she can reach really high too.
But the blocking feels like it doesn't match that particularly.
Right? So that is something that you would hope for against a player like Olivia Babcock, right? Both like AVCA Player of the Year type of players. Yeah. Like, that's the type of thing that you would hope for, that Brooklyn DeLay, not stopping her and stuffing her every time, but like, you know, can we challenge her, make her hit different shots that she's not used to, or we do get like a stuff block here and there, you know?
Yeah.
Again, splitting hairs here. Kentucky's a really good team, but I mean, definitely something that we've seen.
We're basically just nitpicking at like the one game where they look bad, because
it did look bad though.
Yeah, every other game they're looking insane.
Yeah, but it did look bad there.
Yeah. But now let's move on to the next team, which is Wisconsin. Wisconsin, again, still top level team. Slightly unexpected from us, but I think they're in the zone where we thought they would be. Our biggest problem with them is kind of just the non-utilization of their middles like that.
Yeah, Charlie Furbringer has definitely been dishing the rock really well. And, I mean, we kind of knew that Mimi Collier was going to be a really good addition.
She's being like that.
Maybe not to this level, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, Mimi Collier is killing it right now, but you do need more from the middles. And especially, like, Carter Booth was definitely a player that I think people were like ready for her to have a bounce back year, at least numbers wise, and be super utilized offensively, because they have like a hole in their offense now from this year that they do need something like that. And again, still hasn't been seen yet.
Yeah, I think that's just the biggest thing from them. Things are working out for the most part for Wisconsin when they're just letting Mimi Collier basically take over and have like the dominant games, and then Grace Egan is also there to
Grace Egan has been really good too.
Yeah, support in that scoring, but you still want something out of your middles. You need to give the opponent's middles a little bit something more to fear.
Yeah.
Right now they can be fairly certain for the most part, I'm going to a pin.
Yeah.
So you kind of want them to really be like hoppy on those middles, but they're not.
Yeah, and you know, low key, I think their like identity as a team has kind of changed now. Right? Wisconsin's known to be that super physical, super tall team. I think that identity has to change. You still have a Carter Booth and a Mimi Collier. They are very tall. But like, I think that still has changed their identity, right? Just, they're not top 5 in blocking every single... They were, but like, this is not that type of team. And which is fine, but having to figure out a new way of, this is what we're going to be good at every single night, and we're going to be able to rely on that. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that with the blocking now. So, you know, kind of figuring out a new way. And maybe it can be with more middle production. I think that can definitely help.
And yeah, that's pretty much our thoughts on Wisconsin, because their numbers for their middles are just so low this year. Yeah, we just need to see a little bit more. But we can move on to the next team. Next, we have Arizona State, ASU, where they actually just got Noemi Glover back, which does fill a big hole that they needed, because she's the main part of their offense.
Yeah, it's not really like a real problem, but it is kind of a problem.
Yeah, it's kind of like compounding all of the things so far, basically just regarding Noemi Glover, where she got injured, and it's just reintegrating her back into the offense, which I think she's done fairly well. Maybe not to like the same level, but we'll obviously get there. But also reintegrating her while making sure, while she was gone, their outsides actually were producing very, very well.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that stays, that level of play, that level of production stays from the outsides, while also making sure that Noemi Glover will be your main attacker still. You're going to give her the volume, but you still want your outsides to be dangerous. Keep the blockers thinking. Yeah,
I think that's definitely what makes Arizona State more difficult to defend, is when they have more production from someone else, and the outsides were able to do that now. Now, with Noemi Glover back in, can they still do that? That's going to be, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
But I think that definitely is important for them just because, they don't have the offensive firepower that you see from these other top teams. Naomi Glover is really good for that to kind of compete.
Yeah.
But, you still need a balanced offense. You're not going to be able to rely on her to just score everything now. Now that she is back, you can't use that as a crutch, being like, oh, she's back. All right, we're good. Now we can just let's just set her a bunch down because she's back. We'll ride and die with her. But still being able to use a balanced offense can definitely help them out.
Yeah. So Arizona State, it's a little bit more abstract than say some of the other things we've said, but I think just the integration of their offense as a whole will kind of get them there, and maybe we'll see them jump up if it gets good, or we'll see them stagnate around here if it doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
But for our next team, we have TCU, one of the big jumps up from the beginning of the season till now.
Yeah, it's been a really great, surprising team to watch. They've been really fun. I think, low-key, this is like one of the most fun teams to watch if you haven't seen them yet.
Now, just in terms of improvements, I think it's pretty much we want to see improvements in the opposite of their style, where their main thing is being in system, running fast, running super quick balls. The blockers are disoriented. You're getting one-on-one blocks from basically every position.
Yeah.
But when they're out of system, they are having to play up against these 2-man blocks, 3-man against certain teams. And maybe their players aren't as well equipped to deal with that just because they're kind of getting the one-on-ones so frequently that when they're getting a high ball, it's a little bit more difficult for them to terminate. And I think that's pretty much the one thing that you want to see from them to take it to the next level and really compete, really become a contender.
Yeah, I think you can kind of tell there's like a personnel difference because last year you had Melanie Parra. Melanie Parra was an absolute dog last year.
Gonna see her in Italy.
Now you don't have her. I think she was a huge thing to have in the out-of-system play, right? Let's just give Melanie the ball. Even if we are in system, it's just give Melanie the ball. But now you don't have her. You still have some really great outsides and really great hitters.
Yeah.
But you don't have that go-to, we're good. We can give her an out-of-system ball. She can just go up there and get us a point. So now can your other outsides do that now? Right? They've definitely gotten better. They've shown out really well this year. But can that happen? I think that's what will take the team to the next level, like you're saying, if they can be good out of system too.
Yeah, especially just because maybe against these top teams, the top teams are the ones that are able to keep them out of system the most.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna happen more.
Yeah, so that's just, I think they're gonna continue to beat these a lot of the teams that are lower than them. So I don't think they're gonna have a problem in that sense. But it's just against these top teams, that's the improvement that we want to see.
Yeah, no Melanie Parra, man. You can't just toss it up to her and she's gonna score.
But the next team we want to talk about is SMU. Again, a big surprise this year, them being basically a full transfer team.
Yeah, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah, so we weren't sure how good, how bad it was going to be for the most part.
We were hoping it was going to be good.
Yeah,
you'd be hoping it was going to be good because the players that they got, and it has.
Yeah.
It really has.
And their issue is also kind of very similar when they're out of system. They're also struggling to terminate the ball against pretty much when they're playing against these top teams. That's when they're really having the issues with just making sure that they can put balls away instead of tipping, giving rolls over, or even having to set it, bump it over, which not great. Because in system, they look great. Avery Carlson, I'm sure
she's dishing the rock.
Yeah. I don't know how to say it without addressing her leaving Texas like that, but she's very good.
Yeah, I think I agree, and part of it is maybe can a Malaya Jones be able to handle the out of system balls? I'm not sure, but she is a dog. She is destroying the ball right now, so can she do that out of system? Maybe that will be a way for SMU to take that next step.
Yeah. SMU, it's again just the out of system play because in system they look really good.
Yeah, they got a lot of weapons.
Out of system gets tougher, but every team has to struggle with that. And I guess maybe the top teams have that go-to reliable player, or even maybe multiple. Even some teams have multiple, where you give them an out of system ball, you're feeling good about it. You're like, okay, we're still gonna get a good swing off.
Yeah, but SMU, right? It's a new team, so. Yeah. You have to find that identity.
Yeah, they're figuring it out.
Yeah, it's going to take more time for them to be able to find that.
But let's move on to the next team, which is Purdue. This is actually crazy where this is just another team where we weren't sure what to expect. They lost most of their roster.
Yeah.
Brought in a whole bunch of players, and they still look pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome to see that they've still been able to compete really well. But you can see the problems with the players that they lost. I think serve receive, right, has been their biggest thing.
Yeah.
You do lose like Eva Hudson and Kosha Quinn, both really good ball control players that you don't have that anymore. I think that definitely you need other players to step up and try and take that, and it's really hard.
Yeah, I think just the serve reception, especially, they're going to be going in a Big Ten play whenever they reach the national tournament play, because I'm assuming they're going to make it. It's going to be, actually, they might be fringe, but...
It's a lot of good Big Ten teams.
Yeah. It'll be difficult if they get put too much in out of system, or even getting aced, obviously, is bad. But yeah, Purdue, that's probably like their one to be desired thing, and I think that's where they are lacking the most in compared to these other top teams.
Yeah, I mean, you lose Eva Hudson, Kosha Quinn. Like, those are players that you feel comfortable giving the rock to when you're out of system, and they can get you a point. And you don't have that anymore. They still have really good players at Purdue, but right, again, you have to still kind of refine that identity on what can you rely on in those tough times. So definitely something that Purdue needs to be able to, still punch above their weight that you'd kind of assume.
But now we're going to move on to the next team, which pretty much has the same issue.
Another competitor, though, in the Big Ten.
Yeah. We got Minnesota here. So for Minnesota, their situation is slightly different because they actually started off the season with their libero, who was able to take up a lot of that pressure. And serve receive and defense maybe wasn't as big of an issue as we thought then. But now losing Zeynep Palabiak just out for the season.
Yeah.
I think ACL.
I'm pretty sure it is ACL.
Losing her for the season. That was your libero. That's been your libero.
Yeah.
It turned down the defense a little bit because then you're stepping into the reserves. You're pulling out your DS into the libero spot. You're pulling in another DS.
Yeah.
It's tough, but that's their thing. Julia Hansen isn't necessarily the most defensive or serve receive player. The effort is there. She'll hustle for a ball.
Yeah.
But just fundamentally, she's not like some of the other top tier outside. She's not like Harper Murray, where Harper Murray is just passing dimes all the time. It's something where you just kind of need to figure out that serve receive and the defense.
And hey, I mean, you already were kind of alluding to it. Alex Acevedo is having to take a big role now, right?
Yeah.
No McKenna Wuker. That's really rough for Minnesota.
Okay, actually, they're dying from injuries right now. This is
honestly, that is their problem. I don't know what they're eating. Like, what are they feeding them? I don't know. Or what's the training regimen? I don't know what's going on. I'm just kidding. It's like ACL, you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like the fact that you lose you already came into season without one of your starting outsides. You lose your libero now. That is rough. So like we're saying, the serve receive is going to go down. And part of that is Alex Acevedo having to step up, right? Because I think she's been the clear target now in serve receive. You do have a new libero, but they know that they can target her, and it is going to be a little bit tougher for her. Because she's still really young, so you have a younger player out there, they're going to serve her a lot of the balls. And Julia Hansen, can she figure out how to still stay involved and get the ball and swing on the out-of-system type of balls, too?
I don't doubt that she's able to swing, just...
Oh, yeah, she's going to swing.
You want to get better looks, I guess.
Yeah, and, can you swing more efficiently and get those points in out-of-system is harder, for sure.
But moving on from Minnesota, our next team we have to talk about is Texas A&M, a team that we were pretty high on going into the season. Yeah. I'm still pretty high on them. I really like their blocking, but the biggest issue from them, I think, is also, in a way, their offensive consistency, but maybe that production coming a little bit more from the outside position.
Yeah, I think that really has been the thing that has looked like it's holding them back from being those top tier teams, right? Because you know what you're gonna get from a Logan Lednicki.
Even though she does have some off games, we've seen.
She does. But that she is your go-to hitter. That's the balls that she's gonna get. But can you get more from McKinnell Sowers, Alex Helmuth? That's where it really matters. Because this again, actually, what I really loved from them in the first serve was that offense looked really, really good. It was so diverse, super balanced. Now, can they still do that and get the efficiency going up? that's, I think, is going to be the problem here. I think that's definitely what they have to worry about the most.
Yeah, and I think part of it's coming, maybe their connection with Maddie Walk is like not perfect right now.
Yeah.
It feels like we're seeing, actually, I feel like the right side connections are for the most part pretty fine. The middle connections are pretty good even.
Yeah.
It's just that outside connection, that's where we're seeing some like missed sets.
Yeah.
Or like some iffy balls where the outside's looking a little bit more
tips,
comfortable.
rolls, not as many full-on swings.
But even when it feels like they are in system and getting the ability to get good swings, they're just not as terminal as you want them to be. But yeah, Texas A&M, that's their key to stepping up in the rankings. We still believe in them a lot, actually, because
it's still a killer team.
They're really good. And just, I got to say it again, as a blocking team, they're a good team.
Yeah.
So, still looking forward from them. But let's move on to our next team, one of our last teams. We got Florida, who is slowly moving back down the rankings.
Yeah.
We have the issue that we've been harping on basically the entire season.
It's the same one.
Yeah, it's just that service even passing in general, the defense even.
Yeah.
It's not great. Alexis Stuckey having to deal with some tough passes and making her run around, work her magic. And
which sometimes works still.
Yeah, they're still getting good looks. It still looks good, but also sometimes it looks bad.
Yeah, there's definitely, it's making it, like the game is on like hard mode for them because of the serve receive. It's making it so much more out of system and tougher plays for Alexis Stuckey to make, or even Taylor Parks. Like the way that it's working, like they sub them in, sub them out just to see like what a different look looks like. It's still the same result.
Yeah,
the passing has been the problem. If you didn't know already, they made it easier for you to know because the setters change and it's still happening.
Yeah, and like you can't really blame the setters because these are two of the best setters in NCAA.
Some nasty setters.
It's crazy that Florida has both of them. I've already seen some talks that people are like, we need Taylor Parks to transfer out. She's too good to be like stuck behind Alexis Stuckey. But I guess she's getting her play time and not the biggest issue. I mean, of course, her being stuck in a supporting role, backup role, if you want to see her play, not great. But she'd be having the same issues, and you would probably be complaining about something else if right now you're complaining that she's stuck behind Alexis Stuckey.
Yeah, I mean, it really, I think it was funny, like it kind of happened in first serve as well. Like we noticed that instantly, like, oh man, like the passing is not looking good. But you hope that that is something that can get worked on and like iron out a little bit. But it's still been there. It's still been like the glaring issue for Florida. Because, again, to me, it's surprising how good Florida has been. You lose Mary Wise, you lose Kennedy Martin. Those are two huge dominoes that fell. But you get Alexis Stuckey back, and Jordan Bird has been amazing. So there's still some really good bright spots for this team, but that problem is still glaring. It's still really obvious.
Let's move on to our final team. This is one that should normally be at the top of the rankings.
And there is an obvious answer, but we're not talking about it.
Yeah, but here we are at the very bottom of the rankings, dropping like a rock. We have Penn State, and we know part of why they have issues.
Yeah.
But
everyone knows.
Yeah. But
that's not what we're here to talk about.
Yeah. But they were kind of having issues with it before, and these issues are only being highlighted even more
with the new setter.
With their new setter, Addie Leon. So it's kind of just making sure that their hitters and defense are able to adjust, especially this new setter, because I think even when the season started, for some reason, like Izzy Stark's connection wasn't fully there.
It wasn't great.
Yeah, now we're getting a new setter again, so got to get that going again.
Yeah.
And Addie Leon is a much shorter setter, to say the least.
Right.
Yeah, I think she's 5'9", so maybe wasn't intended to be a 6-rotation setter.
Yeah.
When they brought her in, but that's a situation you've been dealt. So especially on the defense, she can still jump, but there are some pretty physical players out there.
Yeah.
So just having to adjust their defense to kind of work with that, get all the offensive issues out of there too, because they were already kind of having them, and now they have to do it again. And
Yeah, you have to iron that out, right? Because, I mean, let's be real. Probably Izzy Stark was getting most of those reps anyways in practice. I'm sure they try and keep it like somewhat balanced to make sure that if something does happen, but something happened, and now they need to figure this out.
Yeah.
And, this is going to take time for a team like Penn State to be able to bounce back, but we'll have to see. I think, I don't know if I'm that optimistic about it. I try to be, but it is a lot to deal with. I think, I feel like there's just some mental, weight on the players as well, just because of all the stuff that's been going on with them, that there's that they have to deal with too. So it's a lot going on. We'll have to see if they're able to bounce back from that. But Penn State, it's looking rough. It's looking rough.
I mean, this was only one of the issues that we had, and we already kind of made this one like two. And before this, they already had more that we had talked about in earlier episodes. So it's looking rough for them.
Yeah, we didn't even the obvious one was there, but it's kind of coincided. It's kind of together, but yeah, it's bad.
So we're just gonna see. We kept them on this list, maybe over some other teams. Just we want to see them improve and maybe regroup to at least be decent middle of the pack.
Gotta give respect to the champs,
Yeah, even though it's really different now.
It's a very different team, but had to give them a little bit of respect.
Yeah, but that'll wrap it up for our one problem for each of the top teams. Let us know in the comments if you think we're off base with any of these, or if there are any problems with some of these teams that we missed, because every team has multiple things going on that game to game you kind of want to look at. So there are probably some other things that we didn't talk about, but let us know in the comments what you guys think. But for now, let's move on to the rally round. Welcome to the rally round, where we play our drafts, blind rankings, and other fun games. This week, we're finishing up our draft series of all of the major conferences. So we're finishing it off with the Big 12.
Oh yeah.
So it's finally time to get into it. A lot of good teams here. So let's draft teams from the Big 12, but we can only use one player per team.
I got first pick this time. I'm making it easy for myself. Naomi Glover is back, and she's on my team from ASU.
Yeah, she's looking good. All right, now we move on to my picks. For my first pick, give me Reese Patek from Kansas as one of my middles. She is insanely good. She's available very, very often to swing, so I really like her game.
Yeah, Reese Patek is very fun to watch from Kansas.
So then for my setter, I'm going to take Alex Bauer from BYU.
Wow.
Yeah, I think she's been insanely good.
Okay.
So I want a good setter for this team, especially since I already have Reese Patek. I need someone who can find her.
That is not where I thought you were going to go, honestly.
I had to think about it a little bit, but I like it.
Well, for me, I think this makes it easier for me now. First, let me take Shaylee Myers from Kansas State. She's going crazy right now. For my libero, I'm going to take Sierra Grizzle from Texas Tech.
So for one of my outsides, give me Cameron Gabadlo from Utah.
She's killing it.
Yeah. And then for my final middle, give me Sarah Sylvester from TCU. I think she's been playing extremely well, especially in the super fast system, so hopefully we can get her some fastballs as well. And she has good blocking.
I like it.
Not much overlap since I know the outside you're probably going to take.
The only thing that's making me hesitate is a little bit about the middles I want to look at as well.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
It's tough, especially since I took my two.
Yeah, it's a little tougher now. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to take Claire Little Chambers.
Yeah, fair. As expected.
I think I would be crazy not to take her.
Yeah. Could have been up there for that first pick.
Yeah. I'm going to take her because I really like her. I know it's weird because they run a 6'2", but I'm taking Ella Foti from TCU.
All right.
I really like her setting.
All right, so for my other outside, I'm taking Anna Berlovich from Colorado.
I like the pick.
She's so good. Back row attacker as well, so
yeah,
she's get those swings. Yeah. And then for my libero, let me get Faith Frame from Arizona State. Yep, super good. Helps anchor that Arizona State ASU defense.
For one of my middles, let me take Aurora Papak from Kansas. And then my last pick from Baylor, I'm going to take Gabrielle Essex.
That's a good pick. And then for my final pick, I'm going to take, also from Baylor, Grace Carroll as my right side. So I think that rounds out our teams pretty well. You guys let us know who you think won this one. It's a pretty good draft this time, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of good teams, a lot of good players in the Big 12 as well.
Yeah. Now we're going to move on to the next segment where we're going to be naming the stat.
All right, so we're going to do point scores this time. And we're going to do from the Power 4 conferences. So from those big conferences, who's leading their conference in points? Name the top scorers from each of the Power 4 conferences. First up, let's do the Big 12.
Okay, the Big 12. First guesses would make me want to go Claire Little Chambers.
She's not that top scorer.
A weird one would be Noemi Glover, but I don't know if she like missed enough time. She might have missed too much time to be on these lists.
Yeah, missed too much time there.
Yeah. Who else is Anna Berlovic?
She's number
Colorado. 2. Oh, okay. There's Cameron Gabadlo from Utah.
She's at number 5.
Okay. Then give me Shaylee Myers that you picked from your team.
Yes, Shaylee Myers is number 1 with 5.54 points per set and 155 points total.
That's a lot of points.
Next up, let's go with the ACC.
The ACC. Okay, Olivia Babcock.
Olivia Babcock is at 3.
At 3? There's no way Elia Rubin made it that high, right?
No.
No, okay. Is Peyton Peterson?
No. Or not in the top 10.
Yeah.
It's a little nicer.
How about Malaya Jones?
Malaya Jones is 7.
Okay, then. Let's go with Flor Marie Heredia Cologne.
Flor Marie Heredia Cologne with 6.24 points per set.
Oh my.
224.5 points total.
Filthy.
Leading the conference in points here.
Jesus. What the heck? Okay, that's pretty nasty.
All right, next up, let's go with the Big 10.
Let's start. Mimi Collier.
Mimi Collier is number 1 in points per set with 5.87, and she has 152.5 points total. But it's actually not number 1 for points total. That is actually Kenna Woolard.
Oh, okay. So just that points per set. Okay.
Yeah.
Respect.
And then last is the SEC.
Okay. Give me Brooklyn DeLay.
She's at number 4.
Okay. How about Tori Stafford?
Number 7.
Oh my God. Logan Lednicki?
Not in the top 10.
Dang. Wow. Journey Robinson.
She's at number 3.
Oh my God. So close. Whew. How about Jordan Bird from Florida?
Not in the top 10.
Yeah, I guess. Kaylin Alexander from Mizzou.
Not in the top 10.
Alexis Shelton, Oklahoma.
Not in the top 10.
All right, yeah, just give this one to me.
At number 1 with 5.79 points per set is Lindsay Mangelson. She also totaled 168.5 points from Mississippi State.
Okay, that one was pretty tough there at the end. Tough guess, but let us know if you guys were able to get these because this is tough. But now continuing on, for our next Guess the Stat, we're going to be guessing the top 5 blocking teams just from the Power 4 conferences. So not including any of the mid-major D1 schools.
Okay.
So just these top 4 conferences. Name the top 5 blocking teams from the Power 4 conferences.
Okay. The easiest one for me is Louisville. They're always up there in tops of blocking.
Louisville is at number 3. They have 3.16 blocks per set.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. They got Hannah Sherman and Kara Cressy leading the way.
Yeah. How about USC?
Ooh, okay. So USC is at number 4 with 3.11 blocks per set, and they're led by Leah Ford and Riley McGinnis, but the whole team's actually pretty close there in blocks, so they're all up there.
Yeah.
Big blocking team.
Okay.
We're getting a little bit more difficult with the teams now. You just got 1, 2, and 5. It'll be a little tougher.
Sort of tough now. Okay. A sneaky one. I like the coach and I like what they're doing. It is a sleeper team though. They're not top tier team. But what about Georgia?
Georgia's at number 2. They have 3.22 blocks per set, led by Kendall Kemp, Tori Harper, and MK Patton as their top blockers.
Okay.
Very good blocking team.
The number 1 team though. What?
Yep, you got 1 and 5.
I low-key thought that Louisville was going to be at number 1.
We got an SEC team and a Big Ten team.
Purdue
is not in the top 5.
Okay. Then what about Minnesota then?
Minnesota's close. They have 2.89, which just puts them outside.
What? What other Big Ten team is blocking like that? Okay, not the biggest team. I'm thinking lower tier teams from the Big Ten then. It's not Rutgers, right?
It's not Rutgers. It's not Rutgers.
Okay. Nah,
Let's relax here.
I would have been hyped. Then what about Maryland?
Maryland, they're in that number 5 spot. They have 3.01 blocks per set, led by Duru Gokchin and Eva Warbach.
Damn. Okay, Maryland, I see you.
And now you're just missing that number 1 team from the SEC.
What was Maryland? The Terrapins?
Yeah. The
Okay.
Terps.
The Terps. Okay. SEC team.
Now we're looking at SEC for that number 1 spot.
And this is not one of the top 2 teams. Is it Mississippi State?
It is not Mississippi State.
Okay. Don't tell me it's Vanderbilt. Is it Vanderbilt?
It's not Vanderbilt.
That would have been sick though.
Yeah, it would have been cool if it was. Cool story for sure.
Ole Miss?
Ole Miss, it is not them either.
LSU?
Not LSU. They're still like a strong team, so
Tennessee?
not Tennessee.
Oklahoma?
Not Oklahoma.
Mizzou?
Not Mizzou.
Texas A&M?
Not Texas A&M. Yeah, I think you've named every team in this range besides the team.
Texas?
No, not Texas. I think you already said Texas.
Kentucky?
Not Kentucky.
Arkansas?
Not Arkansas.
Florida?
Florida. You're running out of teams to fake.
South Carolina?
It's not South Carolina.
I've literally said like every single team here. Alabama?
Not Alabama.
No, okay, it's Auburn.
It's Auburn.
Oh my god.
At number 1 with 3.26 blocks per set.
Wow.
Being led by Kate Mansfield and Grace Havlicek.
That's crazy.
Yep. Doing very good in the blocking game. Let's see if they can keep it up in SEC play.
That'd be insane.
Yeah. So, very good blocking teams all around here. But now let's move on to the next segment. And for this next segment, it's going to be pretty simple. We're just going to share our predictions for the Power 4 conference winners. So, who do we think is going to win each conference? And we'll give a little explanation why, I guess, for each of us. Let's predict the winners of the Power 4 conferences. So, let's start off with the Big 12. Big 12, I feel like
there's a couple ways you can go with this.
Yeah, we got BYU, we got ASU as probably like 2 of the main players. Kansas as well.
Okay. Or we go with TCU.
TCU
is
very
red
good
hot
as
right
well.
now. But ASU did just get Noemi Glover back. I
Yeah,
think that is
that's
a huge shot in the arm.
Yeah.
Where that does make me want to lean ASU.
But TCU has had like a real tough schedule.
Okay. So if you're down, I'm low key down to put TCU as the Big 12 winners. I'd be so hyped if they did.
Yeah. I mean, it's TCU or ASU for me. Those are my top 2 picks.
Yeah, I think those 2 make the most sense. I'm going with the hot hand, man. Give me TCU.
Yeah. TCU's good pick. Let's ride with it.
Okay. The Horned Frogs. I think that's what they're called.
But now let's move to the ACC. I think this one's a little bit easier.
A little more straightforward.
But we still got 2 big contenders.
Maybe 3. You want to say 3?
Actually, we pretty much have 3 big contenders. Yeah. We have Stanford, Louisville, Pitt.
Yeah.
So I'm just a Stanford fan, but Louisville's also looking pretty good.
I'm trying to go with like matchups here. Who would be good in the matchups here? That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Because that's what might matter.
I like Stanford this year. I'm just going to rock with Stanford, I think, as my opinion. That's how I want to toss in. Them or Louisville.
I think I'm rocking Louisville. To me, I think they've got what it takes. I know that we talked about some offensive struggles, but I think Louisville still got it.
All right. So Stanford or Louisville, those are our predictions. Now let's move on. Big Ten. This is the easiest one.
Very easy.
Yeah, we're going Nebraska.
Yeah,
no arguing this one. Yeah, that's all. I don't think too much needs to be said about us picking Nebraska as the winner of the Big Ten.
No.
It is 100% theirs to lose.
Yeah, I think competitors are like a Minnesota, Wisconsin. I don't feel comfortable saying Penn State anymore.
Yeah. No, we're going.
I don't think SC or Purdue is really in that either.
Yeah. No, we're going Nebraska 100%.
Yeah. Penn State preseason wise, probably.
Yeah.
Well, no, I would have still said Nebraska, but
yeah,
they fall now.
Yeah, so, but it could have been a bigger conversation.
Yeah, but we go Nebraska here.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yep. Now, last one, we got the SEC, which we got an extremely big team leading the way right now for the SEC. And I think we're going to have to rock with them probably.
Sadly, I'm going to have to go with it too. I was really hoping Kentucky was going to do it, but Texas is looking unstoppable right now.
Texas looks too good. We got to pick Texas.
Yeah, going Texas here.
Yep. So we did end up playing it a little bit safe for these last two, but those are predictions.
Yeah, I wanted to say Kentucky so bad. Texas is going.
there.
Texas is looking too good right now.
Yeah. They look so strong. Yep, that does it for that. Let us know who you guys think is going to be the winner for each of these conferences, because we definitely had some debate with that Big 12, ACC for sure, and Big 10, SEC, not so much. But now let's move on to the next segment where we're going to be comparing two players' stats again without knowing who they are. So we're still doing the NCAA. We'll probably have some more men's world championship ones next week after it's all over. We'll compare some players there. But right now, we just got the NCAA. I'm going to show you two NCAA player stats, and you tell me who's better. So first off, we're going to be doing setters. So we're looking at setter stats. For player A, they have 1.02 points per set, 0.68 kills per set, 9.61 assists per set, 3 service aces, 5 serve errors, 3.1 digs per set, 0.45 blocks per set. And then player B, we have 1.17 points per set, 0.67 kills per set, 11.53 assists per set, 11 service aces, 18 service errors, 1.86 digs per set, and 0.36 blocks per set. So a little bit more defensive versus like true offensive setter.
Yeah, this is a little difficult. I mean, it is very close.
Yeah.
I think like 2 extra assists per set does help, but you get a little more digs, less service errors, less aces though. This is tough. My gut was telling me to go with player A. I'm going to go player A here.
Okay, that means you're picking Bergen Riley over Matty Walk.
Oh, okay.
So Bergen Riley, Nebraska, Matty Walk, Texas A&M.
Okay.
Solid pick. I think many would agree with you.
Yeah, well, Matty Walk's numbers looking pretty good too though.
Yeah, those assist numbers per set, pretty big.
Yeah, definitely shows, again, one of the top offenses.
All right, moving on to our next two players. For player A here, we have 3.54 points per set, 2.67 kills per set, 35.9% efficiency, 0 aces, 0 serve errors, 1.39 blocks per set. Player B, we have 2.49 points per set, 1.59 kills per set, also with a 35.9% efficiency, 0 aces, 0 serve errors, and 1.65 blocks per set. So we got one scoring a little bit more, one putting up a little bit of a bigger block.
I think this one is kind of clear cut. You go with player A here. More points from more kills, same efficiency, and then the blocking is pretty similar still.
Yep. And this is where we're going to compare player A, who you picked. We have Kara Cressy from Louisville versus player B, Bree Kelly from Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, 2 really good middles, so that's definitely tough.
Yeah, 2 of the best in NCAA, and you see the little bit of disparity here. It's tough.
Yeah, 2 really good middles.
For our last one, we have player A with 5.07 points per set, 4.32 kills per set, on 25.6% efficiency, 17 aces, and 42 service errors, 1.95 digs per set, and 0.47 blocks per set. Player B, we have 4.64 points per set on 4.14 kills per set, 31.3% efficiency, 11 service aces, 6 service errors, 3.1 digs per set, and 0.21 blocks per set. So a lot of trade-off here.
Yeah.
Between these two players, it's a little bit of a back and forth.
I'm trying to think about who the players are. I don't think I got this.
It definitely is a little bit of a tougher one.
Yeah, we already did like a Brooklyn delay. Like that was one of the ones that I'd think about just because of the serving for player A. But
I don't know if you're serving that crazy.
Yeah.
I had to double check these numbers, by the way, just to make sure that they're right.
Yeah.
And they are.
Well, to me, numbers wise, I think player B is definitely better. I think same amount of points, pretty much, a little bit less, but better efficiency. The serving efficiency is definitely better.
Yeah.
And then you're still putting up good defense, and then blocking isn't as much there, but that's okay. You're still getting a good amount of digs.
So that means who you picked player B, you picked Tori Stafford of Texas over Allison Jacobs of Michigan.
Okay.
So Allison Jacobs scoring a lot.
She's killing it, yeah.
Just the efficiency's looking a little tough, probably because she's doing a lot for her team.
Yeah. Wow, Tori Stafford's definitely putting up good numbers, though.
Yep. Tori Stafford looking good. That does it for that comparison. And let's move on to our last segments where we have some blind rankings.
I want you to blind rank these NCAA setter and right side duos.
Okay.
First up, we got Brooke Mosher and Olivia Babcock from Pitt.
Okay, so they've struggled a little bit this season.
Still Olivia Babcock,
Yeah,
though.
not as efficient as it could have been, but you do have one of the right sides in the game. I don't think I want to put them any lower than 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm putting them 2.
The respect for Olivia Babcock is there.
She's too good.
Next up, you got Avery Carlson and Malaya Jones from SMU.
Okay. It's tough because I don't think they're living up to their full potential quite yet. So I'll put them at a 4.
Ooh, at 4?
Yeah.
At 4? Ooh, that's tough.
I feel like there's going to be some big names out here. I want to save some space.
That's tough. All right, next up, we got Maddie Walk and Logan Lednicki from Texas A&M.
Ooh, Logan Lednicki is also good. But I feel like of the names I've heard so far, they have some like legitimate off games. So I'll put them at number 5.
At number 5? Woo!
I want to save these 2 spots. Hopefully we got something good.
Okay, so you got 1 and 3 left.
Yeah.
Your second to last team is Ella Swindle and Kari Spears from Texas.
Oh my god. Oh man. I'm just not sure if you're going to put a Nebraska in there, which is like, ooh. But they're so good. Oh my god.
They are looking pretty nasty right now.
Yeah. Wow.
Kari Spears is looking like she's
so
hurt.
good. Wow. That's a potential freshman of the year candidate.
It really is.
Oh man. I'll just do it. I'll put him number 1. Let's just rock with it. She's playing so well.
Respect on Kari Spears.
Yeah, so good right now.
Yeah, looking like freshman of the year. Well, that leaves your number 3 spot is going to be Bergen Riley and Virginia Adriano from Nebraska.
You know, they've also had some rough patches so far.
Yeah.
They're still going through some rough patches, so
yeah,
I don't hate it. Maybe they could have gone a little lower, but
yeah.
I'm fine with those rankings. That's not too bad.
Kari Spears, she's doing it. She's doing the dang thing.
Yeah. Maybe my 1-2 also could have been switched, but that's not bad.
That's not bad. That is not bad.
Yeah. Actually, that connection has been top tier the entire time, so
it really
honestly, in terms of that connection between them, they might be number 1.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep them there. I like it, actually. But now, let's move on to the last blind ranking for today. Now we're going to be blind ranking NCAA teams based on how you think that they're going to be doing in their conference.
Okay.
So there'll be some good teams, some mixed teams. How do you think they're going to do performance-wise in their conference? Will they be at the top? Will they be more middling? Will they be at the bottom?
Okay.
Blind rank their odds of basically getting at the top.
Okay.
Blind rank these NCAA teams based on how well you think they're going to do in their conference. The first team we have for you is we have Pitt from the ACC.
Ooh, Pitt is tough. They're tough to say. I think they're still going to be doing well, but I think they are a little bit of a wild card. So I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to put them at 3.
3? Very good. That might even be where they end up in their conference. So.
Yeah, they got 2 really good teams out there in the ACC as well.
Yeah. Next, we have Nebraska in the Big Ten.
That's 1. That's like the easiest 1 ever.
Very fair.
I'm sorry, Big Ten, but Nebraska's going to probably run through that.
And then we have ASU from the Big 12.
Okay. ASU can definitely do really well here. Wow, this is tough. I'm going to say 4. But I think ASU will still do well in the Big 12, though.
Then now, again from the Big 10, we have Penn State.
Dang, this is a setup. This is a setup. All right, I'm sorry, Penn State. I'm sorry, you got to go 5 here, though. It's looking so rough, and then it's going to take time for it to look a lot better, so.
Yeah.
But who knows? Hey, they might be able to jump up by the end of the season. We'll have to see.
Yeah, you never know. But that leaves your number 2 spot, and I think it worked out pretty well. We have Texas from the SEC.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, pretty good ranking. Actually, this might even be just how the teams get ranked in general.
Yeah.
So
hey, tune back into this for national tournament. Maybe I'm there.
Maybe he's cooking. But that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you again so much if you made it this far. Please like, comment, and subscribe. In the comments, let us know what your conference predictions are for your favorite conference or multiple conferences if you want to let us know.
Yeah. Or maybe what conference are you most excited to watch here? There's a bunch of good conferences out there, not even just the Power Four. So definitely let us know what you guys are tuning in to watch.
Yeah. A lot of competitive ones out here too.
Yeah.
A lot to watch. It's going to be very fun.
Yeah. But again, don't forget to watch the Maya Sands interview. That was awesome. I wasn't there because I was sick, but he ran a great interview. Maya Sands is awesome. So definitely make sure you guys check that out.
Got to put some respect on her name because she is real good.
Yeah, one of the best liberos, if not the best in the country.
Thanks again for watching. This brings us to the end of the episode, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.